Natural Gas Pipeline Company of America, NGPL, is a natural gas pipeline company. It owns pipelines which bring natural gas from the Texas Permian Basin and Gulf of Mexico into the Chicago area. It has had several corporate owners over the past century, and is owned by Kinder Morgan, Brookfield Infrastructure Partners, and ArcLight Capital Partners. NGPL traces its history to the Continental Construction Corporation, which changed its name to the Natural Gas Pipeline Company of America in December 1931. Continental Construction was incorporated about May 1, 1930, in Delaware and in Texas for the purpose of constructing a 24-inch natural gas pipeline between the Amarillo, Texas, oil fields and Chicago, Illinois. The major incorporators included Standard Oil of New Jersey and Cities Service Corporation, with minority investments from the Insul Utility Interests, Phillips Petroleum, Skelly Oil, and others. Work began in Kansas and Nebraska in June, Iowa in July, and Indiana in September. The first 100 miles of pipe began to be laid in September 1930. The pipeline was completed on August 29, 1931, and gas began moving on September 1. It was the first 1,000-mile pipeline built in the United States, and the first high-pressure, thin-walled, electrically welded, cross-country pipeline. On December 16, 1948, Peoples Gas, the supplier of municipal natural gas in and around the city of Chicago, agreed to pay $32.6 million to acquire all the outstanding stock of NGPL. Peoples Gas changed its name to Peoples Energy in November 1979. In October 1981, Peoples Energy spun off NGPL and 5 other natural gas pipeline subsidiaries into a new publicly traded holding company named MidCon. MidCon was subsequently purchased by Occidental Petroleum in January 1986 for $3 billion. KN Energy, formerly Kansas-Nebraska Energy, purchased MidCon for $4 billion in 1997. When the deal closed in January 1998, KN Energy became the owner of the second-largest natural gas pipeline system in the United States. In July 1999, KN Energy agreed to buy natural gas pipeline operator Kinder Morgan Incorporated for $506 million in stock. Richard Kinder, formerly president of Enron Corporation, formed Kinder Morgan in late 1996 as a vehicle to take control of the Enron Liquids Pipeline Company, a subsidiary of the Enron Corporation. That deal was worth $40 million. Enron Liquids Pipeline was renamed Kinder Morgan Energy Partners. Kinder was elected to KN Energy's board of directors in 1998. Richard Kinder was named the president and chief executive officer of the merged company, which retained the Kinder Morgan name. The combined company owned 30,000 miles of pipeline, 25,000 miles by Kinder Morgan and 5,000 miles by Kinder Morgan-owned Kinder Morgan Energy Partners. By 2001, NGPL accounted for approximately 56% of Kinder Morgan's entire income. 7 years later, Kinder Morgan sold most of its ownership in NGPL. In February 2009, it sold an 80% interest in the pipeline firm to Miria Holdings, an investment holding company formed by Brookfield Infrastructure Partners, Steel River Infrastructure Partners, the Canadian Public Sector Pension Investment Board, and the Dutch pension fund PGGM. By 2014, NGPL was financially distressed, and warned creditors that it might miss interest payments on bonds. Kinder Morgan sought to divest itself of its remaining stake in NGPL in 2014, but in December 2015 the company announced it would increase its stake in NGPL to 50%, up from 30%. Brookfield Infrastructure Partners, which own 27% of NGPL, agreed to increase its interest to 50% as well. Kinder Morgan and Brookfield each sold 12.5% of their stake in NGPL in February 2021 to ArcLight Capital Partners, owners of Gulf Oil LP, for $830 million. At the time of the sale, NGPL had about 9,100 miles of natural gas pipeline.